You're putting all of this down to the North wants to rule again.
Yes.
And that is the essence of the division
That
of
is
the
it. That
PDP.
is the division.
But you know they cannot do this, can they? With from the South.
Definitely, but most of the times people just find themselves into problems they do not even know how it's all about. I'll give you one instance. Look at, we have a very vibrant members of a House of Representatives representing Lagos State. I have never had them for one day say, move a motion. How do we make up this? The difference is so much from Lagos State and Kano. I'm not from Lagos State, but we have to say this. The difference is so much. Or how do we make southeastern states, 6 states in the geopolitical zone? We are only 5. And we are claiming we are in one Nigeria, only deceiving ourselves.
Now, the truth is, the thought of a lot of people is that it would be wrong to describe someone like Governor Amechi as a spoiler because he feels like a victim in the middle of all of this. If he was not sidelined and put in the situation that he is in, then he would not have to toe the line that he's towing now. Do you think it is fair for anybody to look at what he's been through and say that he's a spoiler?
He is. I can defend it anywhere. Okay, let me even give you an instance. Look at the northern governors who paid him a solidarity visit. But look at the problems, the barrage of problems
but the
we have in the
southern
north.
governors also visited
No, I'm
him.
coming. Let me start with the north. You know why? Those are his mentors. Now, those people from the north, they've not visited their fellow governors where Boko Haram is killing people, where you have this case of insecurity. They've not visited them.
But you don't know that.
They've not.
No, there's
they've
a
not gone in group.
possibility. Well, they've not gone in group, but the situation in Port Harcourt, in Rivers State, was on national media. It
So
was
also was the issue of Boko Haram.
Yes.
Very, very pronounced in the northern district. So I expected the other northern elders and the governors who were not, their states were free from this embarrassment.
Okay, would you then say that the governors of the south who did not visit the governors of Borno State and Jigawa State and Taraba State where they had these issues in the past, they are also being political in not visiting
the southern government, like, I give you an instance now. Those from my state, Abia State, it is the northern governor that are supposed to visit my governor because we lost a lot of our indigents in cause of this, and nobody is talking about that.
Let me ask you quickly, what do you think Amechi stands for in this equation?
Amechi stands for, one, he wants to be the vice president of this country again. When he leaves office, he's completing his 8 years term. Yes, that's what he's looking for.
Okay, let's bring in Kukwalajai. Now, you have been in the erstwhile Alliance for Democracy. You're a Southerner. What is your understanding of the dynamic of the situation within the PDP now? If you were to look at it from an external person, from an objective standpoint, who's not part of the game, what's your thought?
Thank you. Let me just tell you that the National Secretary, Publicity and Publication Campaign for Democracy. So we understand. Yes, I learned for democracy, but I'm just telling you that
you're also involved in campaign
for
democracy. Okay, all right.
That some of us were involved in the agitation against military rule in this country. And what you call PDP today, you may know, just recall that it was an offshoot of a group then called G34, a group of prominent Nigerians who were opposed to Abacha transmuting himself into a civilian president. The first conference that was held at in Lagos here was, in fact, they were chased out by the military then, by the security agencies. But shortly, thank God, Abacha died. And there was the need for, Nigerians to form political parties. Then this group, again, in fact, the group then was led by Ajasin. And we had Alex Ekweme, Chiroma, prominent Nigerians, Rimi, Abubakar, Rimi, prominent Nigerians, you know. But, you know, when they were about to form political party, all of them gathered again. But because of, you know, the activities of some strange fellows that joined them, Yorubas led by, progressive Yorubas led by Fenifere then, pull out, you know, join APP. Then when I find some funny characters again, they pull out and finally settled for Alliance for Democracy. We must know this history. But the PDP, you know, initiated and formed by a remnant of G34 is no longer the kind of PDP you have today. Today, PDP is populated by all manners of characters. Looters, 419ers, emergency millionaires, people with questionable characters, and military apologists. So those are the kind of people that gather themselves ruling the country. And you see, it is evident.
Are you implying? I need to be clear on this. I need to be clear on this because we don't have a lot of time for a lot of analysis.
It's good we educate ourselves.
Are you implying that there are strange bedfellows within the PDP?
Oh, all manners of characters.
So if you're saying that, how have they managed?
What we are saying in essence is
let me ask the question, please. Yeah. How have they managed, in view of that, to continue to hold the reign of power over Nigeria for 12 years?
Oil money. They are in control of oil money. They are in control of Nigerian resources. So the question now, you know, like what my colleagues here have been saying, the reason for the implosion has nothing to do with Nigerian people. It's not about program. It's not about policies. It's about who takes what. They are fighting. You know, a number of them, governors, have been tried by EFCC and they are still there in the Senate. A lot of them have been jailed and they came back still calling shots. You know, I have an example of just for instance in Lagos here. I have those kind of characters all over the country gather together, take Nigeria by the jugular, looting our resources, squandering it. Okay. So what they are fighting for in essence is, okay, you want to take this one. No, this one is for me. It has nothing to do with Nigerian people.
Okay, in view of that, sorry, if I may quickly jump in, let me ask Patrick Mbah then. Is it all about who takes what? Is that the cause of this problem within the party? No. It's not about Nigeria. It's not about.
Let me correct one impression.
Is that what it is?
Let me correct one impression. I still stand my stand that there is no major crisis in PDP.
There is no major crisis.
Of course, there are some disagreements, and it is very normal in a big family, even in smaller parties. Let me give you an example. Other political parties in Nigeria have suffered much greater crisis than PDP. All the other three groups that came up, or four groups that came up and formed the APC, had suffered identity problem, and that is what prompted them to come together and say, well, we don't have any identity again, people cannot identify with us, and they are smaller political groups. They now come up and they form APC, which is a major disaster, because it's going to lead us nowhere. I want to correct an impression. PDP has come to stay. They've been on board for over 12 years, and as one of our secretaries did say earlier, it's going to lead us for over 60 years, because that is the only political party in Nigeria today that has national identity.